evening, Tottenham fans. Guess what? Spurs fans are divided again on the manager again. Already just 3 months into his tenure, a lot of Spurs fans are giving huge criticism to Frank. I've even heard people saying Frank out already. Also heard some people saying that he doesn't know how to attack. He should have stayed at Brentford. He's a mid-table manager. I predicted all of these quotes way before they've even happened. I said as soon as we go into a rough patch with a new manager, they'll start saying things like he can only do it at Brentford. He's used to a mid-table side. I predicted all this. Just go back in my videos. Some Tottenham fans are very, very predictable. I think sometimes all they want to do is find something to moan about. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the criticism Frank's getting, but also going to give you 6 reasons why I'm not worried at all. And I think Spurs will still go on to have a very, very good season. It just baffles me. It really does. The speed at which people turn on players and turn on managers is absolutely insane. It really is. It just baffles me so much. I haven't even got the words for it. But if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed so far and contributed to the channel. It's really much appreciated. So some of the criticism, and by the way, you're allowed to criticise, you're allowed to have your own opinion. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to give you my opinion. I just think what you're saying is too early, and it sounds insane to me considering what we had last season, if that makes sense to you. So you're welcome to come in the comments and put your criticisms in, and we can have a debate about it. But one of them was he's too pragmatic. Another one is he's not liking. They're not liking a 2 defensive midfielders playing. They don't like the double pivot, basically, especially at home games, which is a fair criticism. Boring football. I've heard Conte days are back. No attacking style, can't see any progress, mid-table manager. So I'm just going to go through the reasons why I'm not worried, because as much as you're allowed that criticism and you're allowed to have your subjective view, that's fine. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I am. In a way I am, to be fair, because this is me debating you. Basically, let's go with number 1. Frank has a strong history of improving players. Yeah? So if you just look back at the Brentford days, he had players in, and these players came in 5 million, 4 million, 3 million. None of these were big names. None of these were players that we've ever heard of before. Maybe we've heard of them in the Championship before, but the ones he bought from abroad, never heard of them. So you got Mbeumo, you got Watkins, you got Benrahma, you've got Wissa, you got Damsgaard. All of these players, top-notch players now. Sade, another one. But they weren't brilliant to start off with. It took Frank months, sometimes a couple of seasons with some of these players, to go from half decent to excelling to Premier League top players. Now, Mbeumo really, really struggled with goal scoring at first when he was first with Frank, especially in the Premier League. I think he was hitting 5 to 10 goals at max. And then Frank had a few seasons with him, and all of a sudden, 20 goals in a season. He knows how to improve players, especially forward players. Now, when you've got a track record like that, and then you see your own side, and I see players like Odegaard. Now, I think he had a really good game, a decent game against Leeds. Then I think he had a better game against Villa. Then I think he had his best game against Monaco, especially in that first half. So I can see improvements week in, week out with that one player. I can also see huge improvements in Archie Gray. He's only had 3 starts, but I haven't seen him play a bad game this season. He's starting to play really, really well. Now, he's got players like Richarlison that he's been here for 3 years now, and he's been the same player. He hasn't, like Harry Kane, where, and I'm not comparing him to Harry Kane, but I'm using him as an example because we had him for so long. Harry Kane got better and better and better upon each season. He was just getting better and better. His He started dropping off, playing in the 10, playing through balls, getting more assists, more skill, better in the air, better strike rate, more goals. He was getting better season upon season. With Richarlison, he seems to regress every season. Every season, I feel like he's getting worse. And Frank's got to try and deal with that and try and get him to improve. Now, that would be a statement if you can do that. But I do not think for 1 second Richarlison is going to be his number one striker. I saw a massive difference in our forward play when Mawani came on against Monaco, and our attacker play instantly improved with him holding on to the ball better, much more skill, pace, better technically with the ball and laying it off to other players. He was much better. Now, if you get Mawani playing week in, week out, with a Solanke on the bench as well, you're going to see improvements in the forward area. Not to mention, we haven't got Maddison and Kulu as well. Those two sorts of players are massive for Spurs as well. We lost Sonny, remember, and not replaced him really. So we've got to wait till January to really sort that out. So his history of improving players is something that I'm confident in that he will actually do and he will deliver. Also, number 2, he always starts slow. I've read this so many times. When I was doing my research about Thomas Frank when he first signed for Spurs, he starts slow. He learns what each player can do. Sometimes he moves players into different positions. Sometimes he, like he's done this season, mix things up, mix midfield up, change defenders around, change strikers around to see who works well and who works best. It takes months and months. Sometimes it can take a whole season for him to really get going. So I'm not worried about the start. Even though he's had a slow start this season, he's still gaining points. So I'm not worried about that. I think if he gets it to click and he gets his important players back and he gets signings in, he will make it click, I swear. And big news, he's not pragmatic. If you ever saw him at Brentford, he started off pragmatic. And the reason why he started off pragmatic for Brentford was because they just got promoted. And he didn't want to go gun-ho in the Premier League with inferior players. And that's no disrespect to them. These were players that, like I said, were bought in for 3 million, 4 million, and going up against £100 million players. He did not want to go toe-to-toe with these teams. He slowly started off pragmatic and slowly built into a attacking force. And if you look at Brentford last season, they were 5th highest goal scorers. They scored more than Spurs last year. They're super attacking Ange Postecoglou. Thomas Frank's Brentford scored more than us last season. So he does love attacking football. Remember last season as well, Brentford's 3 games in a row, they scored in the first minute. Just pure out attack straight away. Because he was used to the players, he knew what they could do, he found his first team, he knew what players he could trust, he had loads of transfer windows, so he built that side himself, and Brentford were very, very hard to beat, especially at home. So that's another thing. I think he can turn around the home form too, because he really made them strong at home. Now, number 4, we have many injuries to key players, and he's still getting results. This is another reason why I'm not worried. We have 10 players out at the moment. 10. And a lot of them are key players. Udogie, Romero, very key to our defence. And they're not just key to defending, they're key to playing out from the back as well. Progressing the ball. So, and we've got Maddison, massively key in that number 10, not available. Kulu, massively, the goal contributions you get from Kulu as well. Sonny's missing. I know he's not coming back, but we had Mawani out for ages. Mawani's only just come back. There were so many players not playing that we needed. Solanke, another one. And he's still getting results. And he's getting results away from home too. And he's playing twice per week. So I'm not worried about his management level. He's doing probably just as good as I would expect him to do with the squad he's got at the moment. He's doing okay. Number 5, given time and backing in the next 2 windows, Frank can assemble a strong side. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier in the video, but give Frank a decent left winger. I think Odegaard is okay. I think he's doing really, really well, and I've seen progression in him. But if you can buy an elite left winger for Odegaard to learn off, like a Semenyo or someone like that, and Odegaard can learn off them, and you can rotate the 2, brilliant, Give him that. Give him a prolific goal scorer. He's always had a prolific goal scorer in his sides. Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney was another one. Wissa was another one. He's always had that prolific goal scorer. Now, give Frank that. Give Frank left winger. Give him a left back that can play like your doggy. Because Spence needs to be playing on the right so he can maraud up the pitch and take players on. He can't seem to do that on the left-hand side because he's only one-footed. Give him the tools. Enoch said they're going to back him. So if Enoch back him in January, buy the key players that he needs that are missing at the moment, and then get players back from injury. Get them all to gel, and I'm not worried. I think he will do okay. I think he really will. I still think we're going to have a good season. Number 6, this is normal. When you have a manager coming in and literally learning everything about Tottenham, their history, about, players' history, about their mental health, everything about the player, he will try and learn. It's not easy just to say, right, everyone does on Twitter, this is the team Frank should play. And if he plays this team, Spurs will win. It's not as easy as that. It's not as simple as that. And when you are picking your team, are you thinking about the next match as well? Because he will be. He will be thinking about the next match and the match after that. Because we can't just keep playing. We've got 10 players missing, like we've just established. Then those 11 after that are not all first teamers. Then you've got to rotate them as well. So it's not as simple as saying play this best 11 every single game and everything will be fine. You can't do that. So he's got to think of the opposition. What's going to happen? How do they play? Do they play counter-attack football? Are they on the front foot? Are they possession-based? Then he's got to pick the players to fit around that whilst thinking about can they play in the next game as well. He's got to evaluate his squad. It takes a long time to evaluate who can do what. And when you've got key players missing in the forward areas, you're not going to be... the patterns of play and forward play are not going to be just fluid as you want them to be. Once you've got a settled front four and a settled back four, things can gel a lot easier. You can get more points on the board. You can score more goals. But this is normal. This is normal. Like, you're going to lose games. You're going to draw games. You're going to have bad performances. All of that is normal. We can't expect as a fan base for a manager to come in, pick the best team that we want him to pick and win every single week. It's not going to happen. Every single team in the Premier League is a very tough fixture. I believe so. Even when we went to Wolves, I think Wolves were on the day very, very good on the day. Unlucky for us. But you can't expect a manager to come in a few months and start winning every single game, getting every decision right. He's going to have to change things around and learn from mistakes. He's going to have to learn from defeats as well. If you won every single week, you're not going to learn anything. This is all normal. This is what happens when a new manager comes in. Then he's got players as well that he signed in the summer. Some of them signed on deadline day, Mawani and Xavi. They're taking time to integrate into the side. Then it gets to players that are underperforming. Then he's got to figure out what he's going to do with them. It's all normal. So I'm just not worried. I'm not worried about Thomas Frank. I honestly believe if I said he will turn it around, that's for me saying we're doing poorly. I think he's doing okay. We're 6th in the league. That's not bad. We're 6th in the league compared to 17th last season. We're unbeaten in the Champions League as well. That's not bad either. I know we should have lost against Monaco, but we didn't. It's like saying we should have beat so-and-so, but we didn't, did we? It works both ways. Also, we've only lost twice all season. And to say get the manager out after just losing 2 games is, for me, it's really insane. And I honestly believe that if you're saying get the manager out now, I think it's an emotional thing, not a logical thing. I think you're going with your emotions, not with your logic. And people say, well, I pay big money to go to watch Spurs. So did I. But I don't turn on the manager because he lost a game. It's very frustrating. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Are you still backing Frank? Frank in all the way. Come on, you Spurs.